Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soapbox. My name is Mauro Pasquale. Soapbox produced and presented right here at WCCA TV, the People's Channel. You're watching us on cable 194 out in the stratosphere field of cable land, or you can see us anywhere around the world at WCCATV.com. We're also, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are, we are too. Thank you, and thank you to our sponsors, Sala Curie, Curie Motor, Stephen Welch Opticians, and Frank Freshner, Dr. Frank Freshner, Circle of Friends member, and all our Circle of Friends members, really, for making all the programming you see here possible in the city of Worcester as well. Thank you, and happy holidays, by the way. And when you're watching this, it's definitely still holiday season, and hopefully the weather isn't too bad. We're shooting this the Monday before Thanksgiving, and my guest, Troy Siebels, he's the president of the Hanover Theatre here in the city of Worcester, a great institution, and it's thehanovertheatre.org. We want to bring your attention to as well. Troy, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you. I know you got a busy schedule. We want to thank you for taking time to share the story, the Hanover story, and your story. Where did you come from?
I'm a theater guy, producing theater. I went to school in North Carolina for set design and just kind of evolved, but I've worked at a bunch of regional theaters, and when I came to Worcester in 2005, I didn't have any experience in the performing arts center world, so I made the transition, but I love it. I love it now.
Yeah, so it's can you describe how the difference between being in the theater, the production stuff, compared to running a theater?
Yeah, so the producing world, the nonprofit regional theaters that, like the Huntington or American Repertory Theater in Boston, or Foothills Theater was in Worcester for many years, go out and hire directors, actors, stage managers, and put together a production and run it for a month or something, and then close it down and hire another group of actors and then put another production together and run it. We're a performing arts center. It's just a different business. We bring in the tours that are out there that mimic the current Broadway shows. You know, a show will open in New York, and then after about a year, they'll put together a national tour version of that show that will go around and play cities like ours. And so we don't create the show; it comes through the door. But we have every other aspect of a theater. We interact with the audience. We build subscribers. We build membership, and we build investment of our community in the theater, and we bring these great shows in.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, when you talk about investment to the community, no one can deny that the impact that has had in our downtown area here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right down there at Federal Square, and
we're really proud of that. You know, when we opened in 2008, there was not a lot going on downtown, you know, and so we certainly can't take credit for everything that's happening, but I think we were certainly a catalyst, an early catalyst, and we get credited for creating kind of a new optimism in Worcester, you know, a new sense that something could really be successful downtown. And we bring in 200,000 people a year who visit the downtown. 90% of those come from outside Worcester, so it's a lot of visitors coming into the city, and I think it just breathes life into this downtown. It's really helped.
Are we growing downtown fast enough?
It's hard to imagine any faster, right? There's so much going on, but I'm excited. People, is there competition? I don't think it's competition. I think it's a rising tide that will benefit all of us. I'm excited by it.
Oh, that's good. That's definitely an idea that's shared, I think, with most organizations too, especially in the cultural and arts community. It just seems to elevate everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, and now there's a lot of interest with the properties around there. People trying to, some people are selling to make room for more accommodating businesses and venues that surround you. What would you like to see happen most downtown, now that you are here and established?
I'd like to see more restaurants in easy walking distance of the theater, right? There's a lot going on in Worcester's food scene, but if you really micro-target a block or two around the theater, I'd like to see a little more. That said, there are more coming. There's a couple that are supposed to open next month And then there's one in our building which will open in the spring.
Yeah.
We bought the building next to the theater a couple of years ago.
Oh, coming up towards City Hall, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we opened our new conservatory, so we have a school now for performing arts as well.
Well, tell us about that. What's going on in the conservatory? How people are signing up to be students and
That's right.
Classes.
We run classes year round. We do a fall semester that'll be coming to an end soon, and we've just opened registration for our spring session that'll start in January and run through early June or late May, I guess. And it is, we have about 285 students across 78 classes, I think, and a lot of dance students take multiple classes. So there's a lot going on. At any one moment, you go down into the conservatory and you'll find classes going on in acting, improvisation, dance, technical theater, design, everything from sound design and stage management to directing to acting, level 1, level 2.
Yeah,
most of the students are in the junior high school range, but we have a mommy and me class and kids as young as 2 years old, and we have adults in their 70s as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, are they working on set design too and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't think we have a set design class at the moment. We have a lighting and a sound design. We offered one and we didn't get a lot of response, but we're hopeful that, especially those classes, especially the production design classes.
Now, when you talk about sound design, what do you mean by that?
Well, some of it is just the technology of itself. How do you use today's technology to put microphones on a cast of 30 actors and
not get feedback,
and get feedback and make it sound the way it's supposed to.
Right.
But it's also a soundscape for the production. If it's a play, the soundscape, what you hear as you're looking at the stage, listening to the actors,
sound,
sets the stage for you. It helps you establish a location. It helps you give a sense for where you are. It really, a good sound designer can paint a picture of the location every bit as effective as the set designer can.
Right. You can close your eyes and hear it and picture it. Yeah. You mentioned 285. That's pretty cool. How long has it been open?
18 months.
Wow, not
just
bad.
Starting. Yeah.
So, and what are the the ages covering for those classes?
We have bands age, so most classes will be there's a 6 to 9 range, a 9 to 12, and then a 13 to 18, and then adult classes.
Wow,
so sort
great.
of bands.
I think it's a great experience for young kids.
It is. Both of my kids are involved. My son in particular, and he's not an athlete, but it really brings him out of his shell. It really has
it's
made
a community
such a
working with the
him.
team.
I used to tell these kind of stories about parents who felt so passionate about what their kids got out of this and how different they were. And now I can see it firsthand in my own son.
You can see it, yeah. When I was a kid in elementary school, Sarah Caldwell took a group of us. She came in from Boston, and she took us on this little mini tour, and she taught us how to build sets.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and do the amoeba backgrounds and all that stuff, and how we actually used real paint and heat and projected it.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing, and I think that's what kind of propelled me into this sort of field. So you never know when kids are in the conservatory there learning. There's so much opportunities for them in the future.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got kids who have been in our youth summer program, which is something we've been doing for years, that are on tour with Broadway shows right now, or on Broadway shows in New York or in college for theater. We've got some real success stories. It's exciting.
Yeah. Now, it is the holiday season, and we're prohibited from doing calls of action here because we're a nonprofit. But if people are considering Christmas gifts, do you have a certain time of year where registration is good? Is it cyclical, or can you register any time for classes? Because it would be a fantastic gift.
Sure. It runs semesters, so registration is open late November through mid-January for the semester that will run January through May.
Okay.
And then our youth summer program runs in July, August. But that's open right now. Although really what we do a lot for the holidays is gift cards, gift certificates, so that people can come visit the theater and choose something they want to see.
Right. Most people probably don't recognize the fact that it is a nonprofit, right?
Oh yeah.
And you're not surviving just on the productions.
No, not at all. We have a really dedicated donor base. We have members of the theater. If you contribute $75 or more, you become a member of the Hanover Theatre, and for that we give you a 10% discount on most shows. We give you early access to tickets for most shows, which may not may not mean a lot for a show as big as A Christmas Carol when you've got a bunch of performances. But when you've got something like Jerry Seinfeld or Tony Bennett going on sale, being able to buy it a week before the general public makes a big difference.
Yeah, right, absolutely, yeah. Both shows were very good, by the way, because I've been to both of those.
Oh, good.
So they were,
the two I picked out.
They were,
good.
yeah.
Good.
How did you know? Gee, that was pretty good. But yeah, no, it was fantastic. Actually, it was a lot of fun,
Okay.
and you know, the parking situation is really easy because it's right across the street. You can't get any easier than that, really, and it's great. It really is. I'm glad to see that. Now, you mentioned memberships. Now, can anyone be a member at $75 or more? You said
That's right. That's right.
And how do you do that? How do you become a member?
You can do it right on our website. Give us a call, but it's easy enough to do it right on the website, and then it'll go ahead and give you your ticket discounts right there. That's the easiest
Yeah.
way.
So at thehanovertheatre.org. And what about some of the people that do the ushering and the greeting and stuff like that? What's that about?
We have over 250 volunteers, and not only could we not do what we do without them, and there's no way we could do what we do without them. Since the theater opened, they've donated, I think, more than $6 million in hours. If you
were to hire them,
right,
yeah,
$6 million.
Yeah.
But not just that. They make the visit to the theater as high quality as it is. That's part of what we're really proud of. Is when you visit the Hanover Theatre, you really get treated like a queen or a king, and we believe that we are a community asset. We have a responsibility to the community, and it needs to be your living room. When you come there, you need to feel at home.
Right.
And our volunteers want to be there.
Yeah.
They go through
This is
training
docent, right,
every fall.
basically?
Docent. We have a docent, a concierge. They go through several days of training every fall, and you've got to want to make that commitment. And so the people that do it are there because they want to be there.
Right.
You know, if you go see a show in New York or in Boston, often you're talking to ushers that are represented by a union, and nothing against them, but I really think the passion that comes from volunteering and being there because it's a labor of love makes a real difference.
Yeah, and it's really meaningful to them because they're part of this great institution.
Yeah.
You know, theater. You know?
Yes.
And they have some passion to it, and maybe it's not behind the stage or on the stage, but it's part of the whole milieu, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, what's up ahead? Anything new?
We're our annual production of A Christmas Carol is sort of a passion project for me. That's the one show actually we do create. You know, that's the one exception. Other shows roll off a truck, but we because of my background and and my history, it's something that we're able to do. So it's a cast of performers from Boston with a few guest artists from New York. And we rehearse it for 3 weeks every year, and then this will be our 11th annual production. Opens on December 15th.
Wow. Yeah, so tickets are available now.
They are, and we do a bunch of performances so people can get good seats.
Yeah, I know we just we interviewed Elf.
Yeah,
Buddy
the Elf.
We just interviewed him last weekend.
Yeah,
and he was on one of our shows called Front Row. But they're fantastic. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cute guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. He'll be here a week after.
Yeah. So you got a lot going on. Can you tell us some of the shows coming up this in the next season or so?
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, coming up in the just this winter, spring, we've got after A Christmas Carol, we've got Finding Neverland, which is a Broadway tour. Great. I'm really excited about it. The Lightning Thief, which is a musical based on the book series by the same name, the Percy Jackson musical. Okay. We added a student matinee of that because it was so popular. We were getting calls from teachers.
Wow, great.
We've got coming up this spring On Your Feet, which is the Gloria Estefan musical with her music that's really just a crowd pleaser. Excited about that. And
that's
then
Waitress. Be fun.
Yeah. And Waitress, which is kind of the masthead Broadway show of this season. It's the most recent, most awarded, biggest show on the series.
Now, is it a dramatic play or is it musical?
No, it's a musical.
It's a musical?
It's a musical.
Waitress. I got to check that one out.
The music is by Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, okay.
And she actually starred in the show when it first opened in New York. So it's gotten great feedback. It's just really good. It's a really good piece. I'm excited about that.
Now, I've been to some shows that I thought were actually produced locally there too. For example, the Jimmy and Joe D'Angelo, the Mad Angel show or something. So is the theater available to the public to rent out or use privately?
Sure,
Yep.
yeah. And we try to do, part of what we try to do is keep the theater open and bringing people through the door as many nights of the year as possible, because that's part of what we do is create this activity downtown. So yeah, absolutely. We like to support local organizations. We work with Music Worcester. We work with Assumption College, does their spring musical there most years. Really, we've done a huge variety of things, but always looking to the dance studios. Sometimes they'll do spring recitals in the theater.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that. In some of the works like the Dickens work, can you draw on some of your students that are in the conservatory as
absolutely
chorus parts? And
absolutely. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
There's a handful of kids. There's 8 kids in A Christmas Carol, and so we certainly do rely on the conservatory.
And I'm glad you do it every year, because it's a tradition for most people to go there every Christmas. It means, okay, we know the holiday is here.
Yeah.
Let's go see Scrooge. Who's playing Scrooge this year?
Jeremy Lawrence. He's a New York actor. This will be his 5th year. He's so good. He is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Is that right?
I don't know if he'd want
to. Now,
did
you act in it? Did you ever act in it yourself?
No. I was an actor early in college, but never since that.
Yeah, you didn't do it. I played Ebenezer. I wasn't Ebenezer Scrooge. I was Jacob Marley.
Really?
Yep, I played him with the chains. I thought I was great. Of course, I was only in the 3rd grade.
Well,
I thought these chains. How am I doing? These chains. No, they're suddenly gone.
Yeah. That's great.
But theater is really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, why is arts and culture, and particularly the theater, why do you feel it's so important? What makes it important for you?
What you're doing when you go to the theater is you're watching somebody else on stage portray a character. You're watching somebody step into the shoes of another person. That's something that we don't do very often today. In today's society, we don't think about what it looks like from somebody else's perspective.
Empathy.
When theater and democracy. I can get on a soapbox on the show for a second, can I?
Yeah, this is the name of the show, Soapbox.
Yeah, theater and democracy are 2 concepts that in the history of the world were invented during the same decade in the same city. Greece, ancient Greece. Both concepts were born at the same time, and they are both based on the same idea. One person standing in another person's shoes. If you're going to be my representative to the government, you're going to stand in my shoes and tell them what I want, what I think, what I need.
And I have to be the right actor to do that.
Exactly. And on stage, we're doing the same thing. We're watching somebody else in another person's shoes, and it is empathy. It's building empathy, and it just gives us a window onto another perspective on the world.
And, it's actually great to think of that way, because it's one of the shows I did earlier today in the productions of Soapbox. We introduced these authors who wrote a book called Making Civility Great Again. And it was all about the psychology behind communicating, and having empathy is a key factor in getting together and having civilized discussion in increasing that moral perspective. And this is exactly what you're talking about, the same thing. It's a softer punch, I think, having the theater as the way to get the point across, to educate through, dramatic work or musical, and to share that with, it's better than saying, let me tell you, but we can act it out. Right? And people will get the idea.
People don't want to be told, but they do want to be entertained.
Right.
And sometimes even challenged.
Right.
Yeah.
And theater can do that.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. I'm so glad you took some time to be here.
Oh, me too.
And I know it gets really busy for the holiday. I know you've got a lot on your head. There's many moving parts to producing and directing something like Dickens.
Well, nothing's more important than coming to talk about it. So, it's an honor. I love to. Thank you for letting me be here and come talk a little bit about it. Really
listen, happy trails, Merry Christmas, happy
holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well. I want to thank Troy Siebels, president of the Hanover Theatre, thehanovertheatre.org. You might want to consider being a member. Membership can be a gift. You can buy membership for somebody else, seeing it is the holiday. I just want to say that. I'm not telling you what to do. But also the conservatory. Now, what's the name of the conservatory?
The Hanover Conservatory.
The Hanover Conservatory. Okay. So check it out on thehanovertheatre.org. Have a happy holidays, everybody. And until next time, I'm Mauro Pasquale. I look forward to seeing you on WCCA TV, the People's Channel.
Is that 27 minutes already? Wow.
It was a little less, but we're okay.
That was great.
Yeah.
Went fast.
Yeah, we got it all.